Hello, my name is Corey. I am 27 years old and I've been struggling with addiction since high school. A few months ago, I had an overdose which led to a brain injury. I don't remember much of what happened, but I found out later that I spent time in the ICU and then in acute care. I was transferred to an inpatient Neuro Rehabilitation unit to continue my recovery. When I first came in, I could barely move my right arm and leg. I had a hard time talking because I couldn't always remember the words I needed to complete a sentence. I couldn't sit up on my own, I couldn't feed or dress myself, and I had to use a wheelchair to get around. I made some progress with the rehab team in acute care, but they thought I needed more time before I could go home and be independent. Right now, I can sit up on my own and stand and walk with some help. But my right leg is still weak, so I get tired quickly. I can feed myself and get dressed in bed, but I still can't go to the bathroom on my own. Sometimes, if I drink liquids too fast, it feels like they go down the wrong way and I start to cough. The rehab team has suggested that I undergo a swallow study to figure out why this is happening. I have also been meeting with someone to talk about my addiction and how to manage it when I go home. Staying in the hospital helped me get sober and I don't want to end up here again. I'm grateful for all the help I've received, but I'm not convinced that the whole experience was worth it. My life has been messed up for so many years and I don't feel like I have a lot to contribute to society. I've never finished college and haven't been able to keep a job for more than a few months. Everyone here is so positive about my ability to overcome everything, but they don't realize that I struggled with life even before I had all these medical issues. On the bright side, even though my recovery is going to take a lot of work, I feel like I'm ready for the challenge.
Hello, my name is Ellis. I am the physiotherapist who assessed Corey and helped create a treatment plan to address her physical impairments. When we met with Corey, she could sit on her own, so our initial goal was to help her with standing and walking. Our first step was to create an exercise plan that would help her develop better range of motion, strength, and coordination for her trunk and extremities. We started with standing exercises and moved toward activities that require more coordination, balance, and movement. The goal was to help Corey eventually walk independently. Corey lives in a second-floor apartment with no elevator, so she will need a lot of rehab to develop strength, balance, and coordination before we can let her return home. She will need to work with other members of the team, such as the occupational therapist.
Hi, my name is Cynthia and I am an occupational therapist. My main job is to complete a thorough assessment of patients and use my findings to create customized treatment plans. This involves assessing the patient's ability to perform basic physical and mental tasks. When I started working with Corey, the first step was to conduct a cognitive assessment, which combines standardized tests and functional tasks. This helped me determine how her brain injury might have impacted her thinking skills like attention, concentration, memory, planning, and problem solving. My team and I focused on improving Corey's coordination and functional movement in her right arm and right hand. This helped her with everyday tasks like writing, texting, and manipulating objects. We used a variety of treatment activities to help improve cognitive deficit areas, and we suggested tasks and activities that she could practice on her own. As Corey's strength, balance, and mobility improved, we showed her some strategies for practicing everyday activities like feeding, dressing, bathing, cooking, shopping, and using the bathroom. This has been a very important part of helping her return home and get back to work or school. Our next step was to conduct a home assessment to see if we should provide any equipment or modifications to increase safety. This was a major step toward helping Corey regain some of her independence. We also worked with the physiotherapist to come up with a transition plan. After Corey's neuro rehab, we referred her to a mental health expert to get her started on her addiction rehabilitation.
Hello, my name is Cameron, and I am a rehab therapy assistant. My job is to carry out the patient's rehabilitation plan given to me by the physiotherapist and occupational therapist. Rehab with Corey started with a daily stretching program and a range of motion exercises with her weaker right arm and leg. We also practiced strength and coordination exercises, transfers, and a variety of tasks to improve balance and endurance for walking. The overall goal is to help Corey gain independence with everyday activities. I visited Corey's room in the mornings and helped her practice getting ready for the day. This included washing up, getting dressed, using the toilet, and other tasks that she'll perform when she returns home. I also helped her improve cognitive skills like memory and problem solving. Just like the work I do with other patients, I worked one-on-one with Corey and facilitated group activities for patients on the unit who were working on similar skills. Throughout my work with patients, I communicate regularly with my supervising therapists and the rest of the rehab team. This helps them advance their treatment plan.
My name is Aubrey, and I am a physician on the rehab unit. During the first few days Corey was on the unit, we identified 2 active medical issues that we are still working on. It was my role to attend to these issues weekly, but I was also available on call at any time. Corey had pneumonia earlier in her hospital stay, so we treated her with intravenous antibiotics. This is fairly common among hospitalized patients. The rehab team also informed us that Corey often chokes when drinking liquids. This is a risk for developing pneumonia. We are now awaiting an assessment by a speech-language pathologist who will perform a video assessment of Corey's swallowing. They will likely modify Corey's diet or teach her some simple maneuvers to reduce the risk of future aspiration pneumonia. We are closely monitoring Corey's situation. She's doing well, but she's having trouble taking in all the information we're providing. We also need to consider her complex history of anxiety and substance abuse. Given Corey's history, we may add pharmacotherapy to her recovery plan. This will ultimately depend on Corey's progress here in the hospital over the next few weeks. During our multidisciplinary rounds, team members provided ongoing reports about Corey's mental state. While listening to the team's different perspectives, I gained a deeper understanding of all the different facets of the situation. This has helped me communicate with Corey and gain insight into how she's feeling from day to day.
There were many health professions who worked together to provide me with the best care possible. I will always be grateful for their dedication and support in my healthcare journey.